All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are going to try and connect the dots on Elon Musk's absolutely massive vision for the future. And I mean, this is a vision that links everything. We're talking social media, AI, even the fabric of reality itself. And you know what? It all seems to boil down to one simple but really powerful question.
And this idea, it pretty much frames his entire philosophy. It's this relentless quest to figure out the things we don't even know we don't know. But here's the kicker. For Musk, this quest doesn't kick off in some high-tech lab or on a rocket to Mars. Nope. It starts with something way more familiar. Basically, how all of us talk to each other.
Okay, so let's dive right in with X, what we all used to call Twitter. When Musk bought the company, his goal was not just to run another social media app. Oh no, he had a much, much bigger idea in mind, to build what he calls a global town square.
A collective consciousness. Okay, what does that even mean? It sounds a little out there, right? But believe it or not, for Musk, this is the central idea. It's the thread that connects all of his ventures. At its heart, it's all about networking every single human mind on the planet together. See, Musk views this expansion of our collective consciousness as the next fundamental step for humanity. It's almost like a biological upgrade for our entire species. And he's got a really compelling way of breaking down why linking all of us together is so incredibly critical.
Okay, so think about it like this. A single cell on its own is pretty basic, right? But when you get 30 trillion of them together, well, you get a complex, conscious human being. Musk just takes that exact same logic and applies it to us. One person alone can't build a spaceship, but a whole group of humans working together, that human collective, you bet they can.
So, you see where this is going. For Musk, a platform like X is really just a tool. It's a tool to make the information flow between all of us better, faster, more efficient. And the theory is, the more seamlessly we can share ideas, the smarter our human collective gets. Which leads to a pretty huge question. What happens when we build something that can process information even faster than we can?
Well, that's where AI comes in. Musk has this incredibly dramatic prediction for how artificial intelligence and robotics are about to completely reshape the human experience. And get this, he believes this change isn't some distant sci-fi future. It's coming way, way sooner than most people think.
He says this AI tsunami won't just tweak things here and there. No, it's going to completely upend one of the most fundamental structures of our lives, our entire relationship with work.
I mean, just let that sink in for a second. Musk is predicting that in less than 20 years, having a job will be optional. You can do it if you want, for fun, like a hobby, but you wouldn't have to. So the big question is, if AI and robots can provide literally any good or service we can imagine, what on earth happens to an entire economic system that's built on human labor?
Well, Musk's answer is pretty radical. He argues that in a world of basically infinite abundance, a world powered by AI, our whole concept of money just becomes obsolete. Poof, gone. We just won't need it anymore.
So here's the core of his argument. Right now, money is basically just a database. It's an information system for allocating human labor. But when robots and AI are doing all the labor, that whole system becomes pretty meaningless, right? So what's left? What's the real currency? According to Musk, it's energy, the true physics-based currency that actually gets things done. And if you follow that logic to its conclusion, well, that's where you arrive at his most mind-bending idea of all.
Right, so all of this, from X to AI to the end of money, it's all been building up to one final, absolutely massive question. A question about the very nature of our existence. I mean, if consciousness and information can evolve this fast, what does that actually say about our own reality?
So what are the odds we're in base reality, the original, one and only universe? Well, Musk argues the probability is actually really, really low. He thinks it's far more likely we're living inside a simulation, and he uses the evolution of something we all know to make his point.
I mean, just look at the trajectory of video games. 50 years ago, we had Pong. It was literally 2 rectangles and a dot. Today, we have photorealistic, real-time multiplayer games that are getting harder and harder to tell apart from movies. Now, just project that trend forward. Sooner or later, we will be able to create simulations that are completely indistinguishable from reality. So if there's only one base reality, but there are potentially billions of these super realistic simulations, what are the odds that we're in the one original? Statistically, it's almost zero.
And Musk wraps this whole thing up with one last twist. He suggests that if you think about it from a Darwinian perspective, The only simulations that would be allowed to keep running are the interesting ones, right? A boring simulation would just get turned off. Which leaves us with this one wild final thought to chew on. If we are in a simulation, is our entire reality, everything we know, engineered for the simple purpose of being interesting?